Hello fellow YouTubers, just thought I'd do a quick video here on the FT857D that I picked up today. Quite pleased with it. Bought it primarily for 2 meter 70 centimeter SSB work, but I'm thinking about using it as a backup HF radio here in the shack. Presently on 40 meters. It's Saturday the 17th of October 2015, and there is a bit of a contest going on here at the moment, but ideal for kind of testing antennas and so on. As you can see, nice small radio. Comes with the MH31 mic, which kind of peed me off a little bit because I would have preferred to have the DTMF mic, like Yaesu seem to do with a lot of their mobile radios at the moment. However, we'll get over it because I do have a spare one that I can use anyway. It's a nice radio. One of the things I will say though is, for those of you who hate menu systems, it is a bit of a pain to kind of navigate initially. It took me about a half an hour of kind of navigating through menus, trying to set up the radio the way that I wanted it to. But once it's set up, you don't really have to kind of navigate too much. The menus are, as I said, they were confusing initially, but as I said, the more you use the radio, the easier it gets. I mean, it is a multi-function menu, as you can see here, just by clicking the function once here, and then you can flick through all of the various menus that you can have. You can use repeat, you can use reverse, as you can see there. You can do tones, ARTS, searching, scans, priority, and so on. And it has a nice little scope feature, which I quite like as well, which does the following. And then when you want to go back, you just click again. So it's not a live scope, as I like to refer to it. If I scan over here, here's my FT5000. I mean, that's my main HF radio, but I thought it would be nice just to have the FT857 as a backup. It's a lovely little radio to use, though. As I said, once you get your kind of head around the menu systems, very intuitive. After that, we'll go up through the bands. As you can see here, we are on 20 meters. I've just got this on a multi-trap dipole outside for 40, 20 and 10, and it works quite well. Not a whole lot of activity on 20 at the moment, and so on. But one of the other nice things I like about this radio as well is that you can change around a lot of how it actually looks. So you can change, if I go to here, for example, if I go back to, if I can find it again, this is what I was talking about in relation to display. But if I go into the main menu like so, and then I scroll on back until I find the display color, you can change the color of the display, which I quite like actually. It's a nice little thing. So there, I tend to leave it on that orange kind of display because it's what I have my 8900 in the car, which I'll soon be getting rid of, by the way, because I think I'll probably put this in the car, because one of the other things I picked up is the ATIS 120 antenna. As I said, it is an ideal radio for anybody starting out as well. I think certainly here in the UK, where we have the 3 levels of licenses with foundation, intermediate and advanced, foundation license holders will quite like this because it is a shack in a box. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space on the desk. And one of the other nice things as well, of course, is that you've got access to all of the bands then as well. So if we just hear, by the way, contests, I'd rather poke my eyes out with knitting needles. They bore me to tears, but it's a good way of seeing what the bands are like anyway. And it seems to be most weekends that they're on now, which does my head in a little bit, as I'm sure other people think as well that are watching this. Now, I have nothing against contesters, by the way, so if anybody emails me or leaves a comment about it, please don't think I'm having a go at contesters, but it just bores me to tears. So again, if you scroll on up through, I've got quite a high noise level, as you can see around here where I'm in. I'm in a pretty built-up area. So there we go. There's a good strong signal there. And if we go up through again, The other thing I like about this radio as well, of course, is it's got full DSP functionality, which is rather nice. The older ones didn't. The 857D stands for the DSP function that's on there as a standard. Couple of nice extra features on there as well. As I said, you know, as you go through the menus, as you can see, you've got I can turn the IPO on, I can turn the attenuator on and off. I can put in narrow filters if I had the filters installed, which I don't at the moment. But a couple of other nice things that are in there is that you have the noise reduction, which is quite good. I've got it on at the moment, but let's hear what it sounds like when we take it out. There you go, a big difference. So if I find a signal here, so that's without the DNF in. As soon as we put it in though, quite nice. It does make a big difference. I've got it on a little external speaker at the moment because what I did find was that the internal, sorry, I have it on an external speaker, but what I found with the internal speakers is that if you did turn the volume up full, that it did tend to sound a little bit tinny. But other than that, it's a very, very good little radio. It's absolutely ideal for mobile operation, field days, that type of thing, because it's very, very small. There's my hand in comparison with it. So it's not much bigger really than a normal kind of 2 meter 70 centimeter mobile radio. A little bit heavier maybe and a little bit chunkier, but it's not that much bigger. I have the separation kit for it as well, so the faceplate can come off. So obviously in a car that's ideal, so you could mount maybe the body of the radio in the trunk of the car, and then you could have the face plate at the front. And of course for security, then of course you can take that out when you don't need it. So it's pretty good in relation to that. There are other kind of options that you can buy as well. LDD do a very, very nice external meter that you can run with this as well. So I'm thinking about picking up one of those, but I think primarily this will just be the backup HF radio, and also for 2 meter SSB. I don't tend to use 77s too much. It tends to be mostly on 2 meter SSB. Location that I'm in here is Bristol, and there's some very, very good groups around here that use 2 meters simplex, and a lot of people use 2 meter SSB as well, and quite active during the summer and winter evenings as well. So it's good fun. So it's nice having that option. Overall, I think it's a very, very good radio. I think I'll be hanging on to it for a little while anyway, certainly for certainly for longer than some of the other radios that I've held on to, because it is, as I said, a shack in a box. Feel free to leave any comments you want. I know it's been quite a simple little overview of this radio, but my advice, certainly anybody starting off in amateur radio, it's an ideal radio, simply because it is a shack in a box. You can get on all bands, all modes. Obviously we can do all bands, as you can see, including 6 meters. Also has all of the broadcast bands. All of the air band is in there. Obviously we've got VHF. I've set it up here on one of our local repeaters here. And obviously there's another repeater that I have that I can get into on 70 centimeters. So overall, very, very good. Very, very pleased with it. I've only had it for a few days now, and you know, initial first impressions are nice radio. Takes a little bit of getting used to with the menus, but don't let that put you off. Certainly, I'm not a fan of menu systems in general. That's one of the reasons I went for the 5000, because as you can see there, everything that you need is on the front of the radio, which is quite nice. I did have to do some initial kind of setting up. The menu systems on the 5000 are far easier to use than these kind of sub menus that you get with these smaller radios, but I suppose they have to pack a lot into a small box, so I suppose that's the reason for that. So once again, if you are thinking about it, think no more. Go and buy one. They are very, very nice little radios. They're ideal for mobile operations, as I said. Nice little receivers on them as well. Pretty quiet. Used in conjunction with the DSP, they are exceptionally good. I think they're actually really very, very good indeed. Very underrated radio. I know there's been some mixed reviews with some people, but the vast majority of the reviews on eHam seem to be pretty good. I hope this has been a help to you. please comment, leave any feedback you want, and I'll maybe throw up another couple of videos over the next few days of it actually me in operation with it as well, so we can see what it's like with set up on the Yaesu 120 in the mobile apps. So thanks for watching, and have a nice day everybody. Bye bye.